Hello and welcome to episode 165 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I'm Jack.
I ran out of breath. I ran out of breath.
Take a short breath.
By the time that we got to Eldritch Podblast, I ran out of breath. Listen, do you know why I'm out of breath? I forgot to put the timer on.
Oh, yeah.
And I got up and I made a really loud gargling hissing noise. So I'm out of breath from the loud gargling hissing noise.
Yes, because you asked me if I could put it on.
Yep.
And I said, why do you put it on?
Yep.
And you went...
Yeah, so there you go.
You hit me with the murloc.
I hit him with a murloc.
Hit me with the murloc.
So it's my own fault that I'm out of breath, to be honest.
That's okay.
Yeah. Can you hear this?
I don't think they will.
Can you hear this?
They'll be able to hear it, but I don't think it'll be... Yeah, they can hear that.
Can you hear it when it's here?
Probably not.
I hope not, because if you can, it's going to get really annoying really soon.
Just know that that's what it is.
Yeah, just know it's me compulsively clicking this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll be able to hear it down there.
Yeah, surely not.
No, I don't think so.
Watch it be. Yeah.
The whole episode.
Oh.
How are you?
Hello. How are we doing?
Welcome in. Welcome back.
Yep. Welcome in.
Great to have you.
Yep.
Take a seat.
Yep.
Don't say anything. We would like quiet in the auditorium.
Yes, a picture paints 1,000 words, you know?
So not you yapping.
Yeah, that's us.
When I'm trying to yap.
Yeah, nah.
When it's my yapping time.
Let's be real, we're all yappers here. We're all yappers here.
So quit your yapping.
Gosh,
quit your jibber jabbing.
It feels like forever since we've recorded.
It does. It's because we didn't stream on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know it's only been like a week. Since we last
recorded,
same amount of time
which is normal, that
we normally
record.
But
it's because we didn't play D&D.
Yep.
We took some time off because The War Within came out.
Yes, which is the new World of Warcraft
We took 2 days off. We took Tuesday off and we took Wednesday off.
Yes.
So we didn't stream on Tuesday.
Yep.
We didn't play D&D on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we had Thursday off as normal.
Thursday off is our normal day off.
Yeah. So we've had 3 days off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wacky and wild.
It felt like way more, actually.
It felt like 1,000 years, didn't it?
Did.
But it also felt like 2 hours.
Nah, I definitely felt it like it felt like a long time.
It did feel like a long time.
It felt
to be
good.
Fair. Yeah, it did. It really did. I feel re-energized.
Took the dog out and stuff like that, and then just made sure the house was nice and tidy every day, and then just played WoW all day.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was good. I will say the office is looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
From all the snacks and the eating and the sweating that we've
drinks.
done in this room. Yeah, but
empty bottle of Fanta, I can see. A couple of coffees.
Yeah, old ice cream tub. Yeah. Some wrappers. But we have
to clean that up before stream tonight.
Yeah, it's the gaming. What would a straight white man call it? The man cave. It's the man cave.
It's the man cave.
Yeah, no girls allowed. Am I right?
Ew,
yeah,
smelly.
Yeah,
girls can't game.
So yeah, it's been an incredible, really incredibly fun couple of days just playing World of Warcraft. And listen. Anyone who enjoys World of Warcraft, or you maybe enjoyed World of Warcraft, and the last few expansions haven't quite been it for you,
haven't tickled your pickle,
I will say The War Within, the story,
it's been great.
Has been incredible.
They did something that they've not really ever done before, where it's like the main story doesn't get you to max level.
Yeah.
The main story gets you maybe like 6-7 levels there, and then it implores you.
The last few
basically
levels, you have to go and explore the world.
Just go and explore the world, and just
yeah.
go and like do a bunch of these side quests and like get to know the people who you are going to be spending the next like year and a half with.
Yeah.
And like the NPCs are great. Farron's great, and the Weaver's great.
And doing my king.
Dagran. Machine Speaker Brinth is great.
Yeah, man. The storytelling.
Great NPCs with great stories and great world building. Yeah. There was one quest. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The saddest quest.
Oh my god. There was one quest, and I shan't spoil it for you. But it is one of the Earthen. There's a new race called the Earthen, and to unlock that race, you have to do like certain quest lines, and this was one of them. Wow.
Sad.
I was so upset. We had to pause.
We went downstairs and ate something.
Yeah, because we
had to just have a break.
God, I was like kind of sobbing, crying.
Yeah.
It was I think it hit. It's a very personal thing, but
like, look, in the fantasy game, nobody like. A lot of people are like, Margaret, and the majority of you, I just want to play Hot Elf and stuff like that. And, I get it. And nobody was hyped for the Earthen at all.
One.
Nobody was
Absolutely
hyped for the Earthen.
No one on Earth was like, yeah, we need another Dwarven race.
And now the expansions come out and everyone's like, the
Ha.
Earthen are actually goated with the sauce.
I will say, this expansion has made me a bit of a dwarf sympathizer.
Oh my god, they're so cool. Like, their lore and, like, just their, like the situation they've been put in
their
and
vibe,
stuff like that.
Kind of the idea of, like, well, they're constructs. That's not new information.
No,
they were created by the Titans, and they were built to serve. And there's this whole thing of, man, we were built to serve, but like
they've left us.
Yeah, and the
for
calling
so long.
The calling of living a joyful, fruitful life, and the well-being of not just us, but of all of Azeroth. Like, to what point do we follow through with our designation?
Yeah, our edicts.
Our edicts, to the point where it doesn't serve anyone, and it's kind of grappling with the idea of,
like, what was I built for?
Yeah,
who am I if I am not my edicts?
What was I? Meow 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 meow. What do you think?
Like, yeah, it's just like grappling with like, so our overlords, our masters, built us for these reasons, have left us, and we are basically like shutting down.
Yeah,
and just you're like, let's break the molds. Let's, be
great,
unbound.
Yeah, there's a greater calling here.
Yeah.
But what is greater than the call of our masters? Well, that's for us to decide. And I love that. I love that storyline. I love that, like, story hook. And not only that, man, the storytelling is great. The main campaign is the most compelling story I've ever played in World of Warcraft. Granted, I joined in Shadowlands. So
and look, Dragonflight was a great expansion in terms of gameplay.
Story.
Yeah, in terms of gameplay and like Mythic Plus and raids and stuff like that. The content was always coming out. We had Plunderstorm.
Yeah.
The story was lackluster.
It's not even fair to say it was boring. It just wasn't compelling.
Yeah, there was no like hype about it.
Yeah. Whereas the story
like,
in this,
Xalatath, Queen Ansarek,
yeah,
like all of the like different things that are at play.
God,
and
the amount of plot twists. There's been two big plot twists that have really shocked both of us.
Like Xalatath is there.
Yeah, she's there
all the time.
She's there.
She's there. She's got a finger in all the pies.
Yeah.
Remember when I was talking about fingers and pies before?
Yeah, that's Xalatath.
Her finger in every pie.
Every pie.
She
Everyone's
shows up
pie.
all the time. She's not scared to get involved.
Or like she's whispered about, and people talk about her and her influence, which I like. I like the ever presence.
Like, yeah, and it makes her feel like a threat.
Yeah,
it makes her
truly,
feel important. It makes her feel like she is powerful.
Yeah.
She is working all the time.
Yeah.
She's not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she isn't the villain of this expansion. She's the villain of the World Soul Saga.
Yeah.
The 3 expansions that are coming.
Yeah.
And great, because she's great.
Yeah, I completely agree. So if you have previously enjoyed World of Warcraft, I know that kind of a common consensus is the best storytelling was in Wrath of the Lich King. I do implore you to check out The War Within, because they are shorter expansions. They're not as expensive as, like, for example, Dragonflight was $60. The War Within is like $45. So it's slightly cheaper. There is still a monthly sub, I must say. It's not an accessible game for everyone, which is
it's not.
Such a shame. But if you like incredible storytelling with characters, I promise you will love, whether you know them or not. I think you'll enjoy The War Within. And on top of that, there's the MMO aspect where there's an economy, there's crafting, there's dungeons, there's raids, all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I've
really enjoyed it.
It's been really enjoyed it. And hey, I won't bore you with it now, but I want to tell you all about my beef.
Margaret's been...
I've been making some stonks on some beef.
She's been a beef salesman.
Yeah, I've been a beef salesman.
Steak salesman.
Steak salesman. Yeah.
You see beef?
Yeah,
I see steak.
Yeah.
That's sort of a motto.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I shan't bore you with that now.
We'll bore you with that on stream later today.
Yeah. So, incredibly exciting news. Wizards of the Coast sent us the new player's handbook.
They think that we are good enough content creators
to be worthy of the new.
To be worthy of two of the new players' handbooks.
So,
big up them for sending us this out.
Yes, my goodness. Annabelle from yours truly reached out to us and offered these books incredibly kindly.
Yeah.
And first of all, wonderful, friendly person to deal with.
Yeah,
thank you, Annabelle, for being so sweet and kind and patient, and for reaching out in the first place.
Yeah.
And Wizards, thank you so much for even just considering sending us these books.
Yeah, 100%.
This is incredible timing. We're kind of ramping up to get our new campaign, which is going to be entirely 1D&D set up. I've been agonizing over which class to play, and this has really made it a lot easier. The book is gorgeous. Look,
of course it is.
The book is absolutely stunning.
Look at it.
Like, it goes without saying, the book is beautiful. The artwork is gorgeous. Yeah. And we are so lucky to be able to receive these for free.
I've read through some stuff already.
Yep.
One thing I will say.
Go on.
Is Goliath is my new favorite class.
Race.
Species.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Species is what races from 5e are now known as.
Yeah.
Love that very much. Looking through all the new feats, looking through all the new subclasses. Very, very, very exciting. Very good stuff.
Yes.
Really excited.
Yes, indeed.
To hit it up.
Honestly, this feels like a
milestone.
A milestone for us. Yeah. A milestone as D&D creators, people who love D&D. In any capacity to be kind of
recognized,
by the top dog.
Oh my god, by D&D themselves.
Feels really cool.
It does. It feels really cool.
Feels really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really, really
exciting thing.
Yeah, this is a big milestone for us.
Yeah, 100%.
So thank you, because hey, if you guys didn't watch and you guys didn't
care,
didn't give a fuck about us,
tell them.
We wouldn't be in this position.
No, we wouldn't have two fresh players' handbooks sat in our house.
Indeed, this is all because of you.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking us to points in our
journey.
Career, that we never thought. Honestly, never thought we'd get.
Never thought Wizards of the Coast would send us
ever
players' handbooks.
Ever. Honestly, ever. Never thought that was something that was kind of on the cards for us. So thank you. Thank you very, very, very much, all of you, and thank you, Annabelle, yours truly, and thank you, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, thank you
for sending us these books.
Very good.
That's very exciting. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Join us on stream Friday, Sunday, every other Tuesday. Check out our Patreon. Exclusive content. Tomorrow is going to be another campaign update, which is very exciting. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, you get into the meat and bones of it now.
Check out our merch. Patrons get 10% off. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Etsy shops down below. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, hit the bell. It goes a million miles to help the channel. Thank you for all the support that you've shown us so far. Thank you for all of the continued support on the channel. We love you so much.
Yes, indeed.
And
by the time that this goes out, we will be doing something for September and a subathon on Twitch. At time of recording, don't quite have that information for you now. Might have that information for you on Thursday. I don't know. But we are going to be doing something throughout the month of September for September and then a subathon. But you know what? Time is a weird soup, and this crept up on us so incredibly quickly.
Yeah, we're going to do some planning tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, we really must, to be honest with you. Yeah, shall we get into topic?
Let's do it, baby. Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
Well, today we are doing horrible D&D house rules.
Oh my god.
It's been a long time since we've done one of these, to be fair. This was kind of something that...
we've just got so many topics now.
Yeah, this was something that kind of came out of the roster, but because we haven't looked at it in a while, there was a lot of new pickings for me to get.
And that's nice.
Yeah, it is. There's actually 2 submissions in this, which is great.
That's because of you.
That's because of you. Hey,
if you want to submit anything to the podcast, check the description for our Google form.
Yes.
Send us in any of your stories, opinions, rules, anything like that. We'd love to hear them.
Indeed, and then the rest are from the Reddit. So, starting off with the first one. This has been sent in by Anonymous, and he uses he, him pronouns.
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
This happened a few years ago, and the campaign ended soon after. It really felt like DM versus players. Homebrew rules of using modified exhaustion. Each level exhaustion stacks -1 to all dice rolls, up to 10 levels, which then equal death. So it's kind of similar to 1D&D, but, you know, not as dramatic as death.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if when it gets to that point, is it death?
I don't know.
Or is it just a
we
minus
could look.
10?
We could look it up.
We could look.
And this was sprung on us after we were more than 30 sessions into the campaign, because the DM was annoyed that combat is too easy for us and falling unconscious doesn't have any consequences. Up until this point, our characters had rarely received exhaustion points, mostly from not taking a long rest or attempting difficult feats and failing a constitution save. We still only recovered 1 point of exhaustion per long rest, but from this point on, critical hits added 2 exhaustion points, falling unconscious added 3, and enemies had new custom spells and abilities which added 2, and being revived reset the exhaustion to 5 or 6. We were soon facing enemies who had an AC of 18 and a spell/DC of 20, while the entire party consistently had -3 to a -6 penalty to all dice rolls, which include attacks and saves. This just made the game obnoxious and truly unenjoyable to play. Our level 9 characters were suddenly failing to hit enemies and save from spells more often than when they were level 3.
See, right, at the beginning, when you were like, oh, we've modified exhaustion, and now it ramps up. Like, one, you get a -12 rolls. And I was like, hey, that's good.
That's good. I like that. That's so much better than 5e exhaustion.
Is dreadful.
Yeah.
It's
Let
terrible.
me actually see if exhaustion takes you to death.
Because in 5e, you don't get exhaustion super often, but it's a good thing because it's so crippling. The only thing that really gives you exhaustion is that there's a couple of spells that give you it. Like Dungeon Masters can say, like, if you travel too long through the night and stuff like that, that can give you exhaustion. And then things like the Berserker Barbarian that gives you exhaustion. That is a crippler in terms of that subclass. I'm so glad they've changed that for 1D&D. But that ruling is better than 5e's ruling, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe less thematic in terms of, like, it like has different stages. Now your movement's half. Now you have disadvantage on attacks and stuff like that. All skill checks are a disadvantage. It's less punishing, and that therefore could be given out more freely. Now, getting critically hit, adding 3 levels of exhaustion, and you die at 10?
I know.
I've had combats where I've crit 4 times. That's death. You're dead. Like, that's it. You're gone. You no longer exist in that world because you are dead.
I'm sorry. I'm doing such a terrible job.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
trying
about
to find this. I'm
spells,
trying to listen to you and read at the same time.
Spells giving out exhaustion. I actually think that with a better way of exhaustion, like the one in 1D&D, I think that giving out exhaustion more frequently is actually better.
Yeah.
And the point of the new exhaustion rules is you can give it out more often.
Yeah.
Because it's less punishing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're just making up things like, oh, that gives you 3. This gives you 2.
Yeah, I know. And then it's like, at what point is it genuinely it did this, and then you're just saying it? Because that's kind of the environment that this breeds, right?
Going unconscious gives you 2.
God.
Getting critically hit gives you 3. It's like if you get critically hit and then go unconscious, that's you've now got a -5, by the way. And you can only get rid of 1 per long rest.
Yeah.
That's bad.
You know what? I'm sorry. I couldn't find it. I couldn't concentrate on what you were saying and also read at the same time.
New exhaustion rules, actually great.
Yeah, I agree.
And do you want to know what?
Agree.
I don't even think the dying at 10 is... Like, getting 10 levels of exhaustion in D&D is actually really hard.
Yeah, I agree.
But then adding in, you get 3 from a critical hit.
Yeah, but do they all go on a long rest, or is it just one gets refreshed?
It sounds like this person said 1 goes on a long rest.
Yeah, one goes on this, but in 1D&D.
Oh, I think it'll still be 1 goes on a long rest.
See, I don't like that.
We do all points go on a long rest.
I don't like that. I never liked that.
I actually think I will revert it to 1 goes on a long rest now.
Yeah.
Because they're less punishing.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I could give out exhaustion a little bit more frequently.
Yeah.
Because, having a -1 for the day isn't the end of the world.
No.
You've got a +6 to hit instead of a +7.
What about having a -6 constantly? A -6?
And then having spell save DCs at 20?
God.
It's just like, that's just...
Oh,
it's
God.
like at level 9, you might have a +8 or 9 to your saving throw.
Yeah,
it's like, you're really having to roll an 18 on the dice
which
to save against those things.
That's...
It's just stupid.
Yeah, like... mathematically, that's just not going to happen.
This is what happens when you don't know how to balance combat. Look, combat's hard, and it's what most dungeon masters, especially most new dungeon masters, will struggle with when they come to the game.
Yeah, totally.
Because balancing combat is not easy.
Yeah.
There was never, in 5e, there was never a great, like, hey, this is what you should do for combat. Try this, try that. These are things to make the combats, like, harder and stuff like that. Yeah. Instead of just being, like, here's big enemy.
Yeah.
So, this is what happens when you don't know how to balance combat, and you feel like the only way to do it is, right, I've got to punish them.
Yeah, and
it's
you know,
punishment time.
And again, like 30 sessions in to be like, right, okay, combat's too easy. And the thing is, it's okay for the DM to want to bring in new rules halfway through.
Yeah, as long as everyone agrees.
That's it. They have to be introduced in a way of going, okay, I'm finding combats are too easy. This is the solution that I've thought of. This is what it is. What does everyone think? And if everyone goes, yeah, cool, then fine. But honestly, if even one person is like, I don't know about it, like, I think there should be room for a discussion instead of just throwing a rule in and being like, this is how it is now. That would be so frustrating. 30 sessions, that's like now. That's like us right now.
We're at like session 31 or something.
If you were to throw in something that completely changed the way that we, especially combat, the way we interacted with combat, would be awful.
Yeah.
I think, you know, especially something like this. And the fact that crits add 2, unconscious adds 3. These enemies have abilities that can add more as well.
It's like, there you go. It's like you thought of a great rule of... You actually thought of the 1D&D exhaustion probably before the 1D&D exhaustion came in. I actually think it's a way better exhaustion rule.
Me too.
You can give it out more frequently and stuff like that, but you're giving it out in fucking droves.
Yeah.
You're giving it out for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
Critical hit, there's 3. Why?
And the thing is, that does not work for the players. It doesn't work the other way around, because you fight a creature and there's one encounter.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Unless it's like a recurring enemy, but then, you know, there's gaps in between that where they would have got rid of their exhaustion.
Well, let's just say you fight a BBEG, a recurring enemy.
Yeah.
You don't fight them every session.
No.
It's maybe like, okay, we fought them in session 25.
Yeah.
We don't see them until session 35.
Exactly.
It's like, even if they had 10 points of exhaustion, they're gone. They'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's something that is completely stacked against the players, which just stinks.
Yeah,
because there isn't any reward of getting the crit, but then you dread getting crit the other way around.
I don't think that homebrew rules only have to be rewarding, but they at least have to be fair and manageable.
Yeah.
Like, if they are to make the game harder, fine, but they have to be at least fair.
Yeah. And you know, to be fair, the critting, would the creature, the enemy, get the immediate 2 points of exhaustion, then immediately have to roll with a -2, you know?
Great.
But
again, that's it. After they've gone from that combat, they're gone.
It doesn't matter.
And I don't even mind. Like, this is the thing. Let's just say, okay, there's certain spells in the game that give points of exhaustion.
Yeah.
They exist, by the way. Like, they already exist.
Yeah.
Critting, 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Going unconscious, 1 point of exhaustion. It's like you're building ways where exhaustion could happen to be a bit of a danger.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool.
But then to be like 2
and 3, it's like, why?
5 or 6, like,
I feel like you've just failed at punishing.
Yeah,
you just want to punish.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, if it all stems from a place of combat is too easy, that's something you can honestly, genuinely all work on together.
Find a different way to make combat harder, because this ain't it.
I agree. Anonymous, that's so frustrating.
It's so annoying.
It
was almost good as well.
It was almost good.
It was almost great.
It was. I agree. All right, this next one, this has been sent in by Zspuds, and she uses she/her pronouns.
Zspuds.
Zspuds.
Let's go, Zspuds.
Hello, we have a homebrew rule that we call Popcorn Initiative. When the battle starts, the person with the highest roll starts like normal, but then they get to pick who is next, and then that person picks who is next, and so on. You have to pick the next person before you start your turn, though, and the last person picked cannot pick themselves for top of the next round. It makes for great teamwork and is a little overpowered due to things like monk stuns and whatnot, but I think it's fun and we all enjoy it. The DM usually has groups of monsters and he groups them appropriately and they get different turns. Yes, we have screwed up a time or two and made the DM go last where he is the top of the turn again due to multiple groups of bad guys. But what I mean is with groups is like if we're fighting orcs and goblins, he will be like, okay, when you pick the DM, you have to say goblins or orcs.
See, this is the thing. Like, I could think of probably a few ways where this would be extremely overpowered. Like combining spells. Like, okay, now they're stunned. All right, we'll let the barbarian go now. The barbarian just walks up. All right, recklessly attacking. Boom, everything's a crit.
Okay, we're all on death's door. All right, we'll get the cleric with mass cure wounds up. And
with
then,
heal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, but at the same time, none of that matters because of what you said in the beginning.
Yeah, if everyone's having fun.
Everyone's having fun.
Everyone's having fun.
If you enjoy it and it works for your table, it's like this is the thing about like this horrible house rules like section that we do. It's just like we're just talking about our own experience and what we would like.
Of course, yeah.
And what things that maybe people might not like as a collective as on a mass.
Yeah,
and why
there's a spectrum and things can fall kind of. People can have a similar opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
And the thing is with this, it's just like, would I run this at my table? No.
Yeah.
But does that like matter?
No.
Like
No.
as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can also see like how it would work in terms of fun. It's synergistic.
Totally.
People get to combo and
exactly.
Do you want to know what? Tell you what I think this would do. Build great bonds.
I agree, and I also think it's honestly, as Zspuds says, like it makes a good teamwork.
That's it.
Like I think this, for maybe new players who haven't played the game before, I think this is a really great way to get players to think about their abilities.
Think about
other people's abilities.
Yeah.
Think about, oh, if I do this, and I hold this person, and then they're paralyzed, everyone can just wail on
We just
them.
let the paladin go.
Exactly.
Or of enmity.
And then the paladin gets their
smites.
Gets their moment to shine. And I think and some people don't like going first in initiative as well. And I think I really like this. Again, I think us as players would really enjoy this. I don't necessarily know if I would want to. Oh, here he comes. Oh,
here
gosh.
Comes the boy.
Hello, boy. Welcome.
Tell you what else it does. You can't not listen.
Yeah. You got to be switched on.
You know this whole like, I just switch off and it's not my turn in combat. It's like it could be your turn in combat any second.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you
gotta
listen.
To listen.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually great for that as well.
I do too.
So,
I do too. Yeah.
As much as it could be overpowered because of the combos and it's like where does the dungeon master go and like you said, like sometimes you can actually make it worse for yourself by being like, they'll go at the end, but then they get to go at the top.
Yeah, I think I think I would enjoy this because listen, we would absolutely min-max the shit out of this.
You
but that's what we get a lot of joy
from.
And
you love doing that, yeah.
But I don't think I would like to dictate when the DM's creatures go.
But this is the thing. I think the dungeon master, I think it would be good if like there's a certain amount of people go before the dungeon master has to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe the dungeon master has 3 enemies on the battlefield and there's 6 players. So it's just like they have to go after at least 2 people.
Yes.
So then it's just like 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah, kind of similar to Daggerheart in a way.
Something like that, where the dungeon master can throw in their chips and be like, I'm using my token now, and I want to insert myself in this part of combat.
Yeah.
But I think they did away with that, didn't they? Now they just roll initiative.
I'm not certain.
Do you want to know what? I really hope that isn't the case because I feel like that sort of loose initiative really would work for I think the type of tables that they were trying to like aim for.
Yeah.
Like not the min-maxes, not the sort of like
not the crunchy.
Yeah, it's just like the role play initiative. Like who's best to go here?
Yeah, totally.
I think it's you. I think what if we? Do you know what I mean? Like it gets people talking. It gets people like discussing.
Yeah.
Who should go? Who's going to benefit the most from? And then you just start to think about each other person at the table. Yeah. And I just love that. I think that's a great idea. So do you want to know what? I'm going to shut up. That's a great job. Popcorn initiative is a W from me.
It would not work for everyone.
No.
Not everyone would enjoy it, but hey, no one enjoys everything.
No one enjoys everything. And that's the thing.
I really like that.
Thinking about who it would be for.
I think this would encourage good teamwork. I think this would encourage newbies to be able to fully learn maybe their action economy, to learn others' action economy, to understand how conditions work with each other,
to listen to
each other. Yeah, I really like that.
As long as there was a specific rule where the dungeon master, like the only thing that I think like you would struggle with is just like, when does the dungeon master go?
Yes.
Tell me when the dungeon master goes.
Yes,
that's the only thing that I would be like.
I
would like to figure out.
Yeah, I agree with that. But again, hey, if everyone's enjoying it, then it doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing with these homebrew house rules. It's just like, if somebody enjoys it at their table, doesn't matter if you don't enjoy it.
Absolutely your prerogative.
Yeah.
You know what? We normally say it at the top of these episodes as well, but it's been a while since we did. But, you know, obviously this is all our opinion, and we're only making these decisions based on our own experiences.
And that's all you can do.
Our general rule of thumb is, as long as it's not toxic or hateful, then if you enjoy it and it works for your table, that is completely your prerogative. Ignore everything we say. If you like any of these and want to run any of these and we don't agree, that's completely fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, totally fine.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of them, like that first one, I wouldn't recommend doing that.
No, I would recommend doing it if it was those things only gave you 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah, and, you know, there's some which kind of are objectively like, who would enjoy that?
Yeah.
But again... You know, who knows?
That's on each table. That's on each table.
All right, all the next ones are from the Reddit.
I do like that, though.
I like that.
I think that's really cool.
I like the name of it, too. Very cute. Okay. Imagine replacing D20 rolls with 5e homemade cards. You draw 5 cards on your turn, and you can play 3. You had 4 of each card in a deck, and every deck was the same. The cards are: attack once, move up to your movement speed, cast a spell, use a class ability, grapple, interact, disengage, dodge, and hide. Because apparently dice are too swingy, so he had us play these instead. All damage was average. Gee, who would think I wouldn't have fun starting combat and not drawing any movement cards as a melee character? Or my same melee character getting fucking spellcasting and disengage cards, but no movement.
It's like... It can work.
Yeah, it can work. It can work.
But you take movement out. Movement's a given.
Movement is a given. I completely agree. Yeah.
And then you take out the spellcasting card for the melee character. You take out the melee card for the spellcasting character.
Yeah, totally.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but it's just like when we don't think about where the pain points are, that's when these things fall apart.
Completely. And the dice are too swingy. To a degree, with a D20 system, I can kind of understand that, right?
With modifiers, though, like, that's the point of modifiers. It's just
you
want
to be good at what you want to be good at.
Well,
yeah.
It's not even that. It's like, with modifiers, the dice are in your favor.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're not just rolling a D20 and hoping to get over.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know, if you're, yeah.
You know, Ace in the way that Dungeons and Dragons works, it's just like ACs tend to range from sort of like 10 to 20.
Yeah.
But your modifier from level 1 is like 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Up to like 13, 14, 15. It's just like you will end up hitting more than you don't hit.
Yeah, especially for the things you've spec'd into.
Yeah. Unless you like build your character poorly, but you know, then it comes down to you're at the wrong table maybe.
Yeah. And you know, that comes down to personal preference as well.
So the dice are too swingy. I don't agree with that.
And you know, I can understand it to a point, because that's why you get D6 systems, which are far less, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I can't help but feel like if you're, you know, a core pillar of the rules is rolling the D20 for D&D, specifically
fun
D&D,
of the game,
right? And I think taking something out like a core mechanic like the D20 dice and replacing it with something like these cards, like there has to be a system that works better for this system, right? Because then I'm like, if why play D&D with these modified rules? You know?
Yeah, I get it. And the thing is, just I could get like in the deck there is roll with advantage on attack, roll with disadvantage on attack, roll with +5 on attack.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and there's more of the roll with like +5.
Yes.
And there's only one disadvantage and one advantage.
Yeah.
And then like you know, meets it, beats it, you deal half damage and stuff like that. You know, like things like that it's like you haven't got enough cards to make having cards worthwhile.
Yeah. And you know, like I understand kind of, it could, me being like, oh, well, why are you playing the system? There must be a system out there that works better for this, right? I don't know that for a certain fact, but I can only assume there probably is, right?
Probably, because it definitely doesn't work well with D&D.
And you know, then that you know, me being like, well, why are you playing the system? Kind of is similar to, oh, well, you should just learn a different rule when you introduce a homebrew rule. But the thing is, I think when people introduce homebrew rules from other systems, like Pathfinder, for example,
like,
that's because that's just a better rule and it's just funner.
You got 10 over the AC, it's now a soft critical.
Yeah.
It's like you aren't changing a fundamental pillar
of the game.
It's like you're still rolling the D20.
Yeah.
But something happens when you hit a certain number. It's just like you aren't changing the fundamentals of the game.
Yeah.
With this
is changing a
you're changing a fundamental of the game.
And oh my god, without thinking of those pain points, like a melee character getting spellcasting and no movement.
No movement. It's just like, all right, you're 30 feet away from the enemy. What do you do?
So
Let me just flip my cards over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a movement card. All right, what are you gonna do?
Nothing, I guess.
I'll take the dodge action.
Yeah, man, so frustrating. So painfully frustrating. And then I can only hope in that moment the DM was like, oh, okay, obviously you can't spellcast. Here's an attack one. But then again, if you don't have a movement card, like you still can't do anything.
I throw my axe.
Yeah, man. The iteration of it like that stinks.
Yeah.
But I can honestly see an iteration of it where
it could work.
It could work.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like, but I think like, yeah, movement can't be in it. Different things happen. It becomes more like chance based. Like, all right, flip the cards. I have a disadvantage attack. I have an advantage attack.
Yeah.
But I have no +5 attack.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just take both the attacks and then something else.
Yeah. And then not even chances in rolling a dice because it's all down to chance with
drawing
dice.
The cards.
Yeah, but like again, like you said, with rolling a dice, you have your modifiers as like your backup, right? And I think the chance of pulling a card, in a way, kind of completely takes it away from being able to be a free-flowing thing.
Yeah,
I think.
And it means you can't be efficient.
Yeah,
it's like it's not within your hands. It's like, when you build a character to be strong,
yeah,
they're strong because you built it that way.
Yeah. And it gets
maybe you get things like I get to pick an extra card on my turn.
Yeah.
I get to like replace a card like in the deck.
Yeah.
I get to like add cards together or something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then it gets rid of things like, hey, natural 20, monkey brain, go, ooh, yeah, monkey happy, monkey happy. Then natural 1, monkey mad, and then it takes away that, which in my opinion is a core thing.
It's one of the reasons why I play the games.
Yeah, it is.
We roll the dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rolling dice is fun.
Yeah.
Seeing the outcome. And, sometimes luck just is not on your side.
Indeed.
And that is fine.
Indeed.
But, because, it's going to change other times. And, rolling the dice is great. I love rolling the dice.
Same. All right, this next one. It's simply, druids can't wild shape during the day. Everyone was like, hey, why?
Because of the moon.
And then they replied saying, my DM really didn't like power gaming. And apparently he thought wild shape acted like a whole second life for druids so they could never die in combat. I don't play druids, but it seemed like an unnecessary nerf. And you know what? Not necessarily wrong. Especially for a moon druid.
If you're a moon druid.
Yeah, get in the...
But like again, all of that's changed in here.
It's all
that's changed in here
for the better.
And for the better, because moon druids were just stupid. Oh man, I'm about to die. Well,
guess I'll wild shape.
I guess I'll wild shape again.
Guess I'll wild shape and not die.
I've got another fucking 75 hit points.
Oh hey, I'm a barbarian and I can half all my physical damage.
All damage. like getting 2 attacks at like level 3.
Yeah, wild.
And while other people don't get it to level 5.
Yep, insane.
It was just not well balanced and not well like taken care of at all. So I get it. I get the pain points with Moon Druid.
But can't wild shape during the day.
Is that the right change?
No.
Hey,
no. And the thing is, I know we're talking about moon druids, but there's a million thousand druids. Yeah, and druids use their, outside of being a moon druid, druids use their wild shape for so many other things.
A million things.
Scouting.
Infiltration.
Yeah. Information gathering.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the Stars Druid who uses their wild shape for their starry form.
Hey, can't do that anymore. Entire fundamental pillar of your subclass that is a problem because of Moon Druid, can't use that anymore.
Yeah, but then it's also like, is the DM talking physically just turning into an animal, or does it extend to things like the Stars Druid.
Yeah, like can you not summon your like wild companion?
Yeah, that's it. Like, can you not use the Find Familiar thing as well?
Yeah,
you know, where you could use it for a use of Find Familiar. Yeah, like
because that's what takes up wild shape for them.
Yeah, and imagine not being able to do that during the day, and to be honest, not being able to wild shape during the day.
And there's the thing.
Yeah.
All parties just now travel at night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. All combats. Oh my goodness. The party go, okay, we'll go around the stores through the day, and then we'll just travel at night.
Yeah, we'll do all the shit that we don't care about in the day.
Yeah.
And then we'll do all the really important things on the nighttime.
Yeah. And then it's cheesy, and then it's boring, in my opinion.
Then the Dungeon Master's getting upset because now it's just like...
Exactly. And then,
We're just thinking of wrong ways to fix problems that we have.
Totally.
Wrong ways.
I agree. You know, Druids can't wild shape during the day. And again, this is like taking sneak attack away from the rogue, which, by the way, oh my god, once again, so many posts in these threads were saying, yeah, my DM took away the rogue sneak attack because they thought it was too strong. Come on. But
I think that's because of a fundamental misunderstanding of what sneak attack is.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't understand.
I agree.
Fighter gets second attack at level 5.
Yeah.
Oh, rogue gets that damage in sneak attack. That's how they keep up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What, 3d6? Yeah.
But people, because I think it's not explained in those like really simple terms of, hey, they don't get another attack. That's why they've got this.
Yeah. And it's once per turn. Hello, I have no idea what we were talking about. The dog, he's got scabby legs.
Yeah.
And we've had to put the Ring of Shame on him.
Yeah, Ring of Shame's on him.
Ring of Shame. He's
on antibiotics because he's got an infection in his skin.
If I remember,
so he keeps licking it.
If Jack remembers, we'll put in a picture of him with his Ring of Shame on, looking really funny.
Real scrungly.
Real scrungly dungly.
Looking a little scrungly
Real
McDungly.
Scrungly McDungly. So he's got his ring on right now, and he's very unhappy about it.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, no idea what we were saying.
Incorrect fixes for problems that we have.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Hey, let's just talk to our players.
Yep,
hey,
totally.
let's figure it out in terms of balance. Hey, let's not ban core mechanics of entire classes.
Yeah, indeed.
Because one thing's broken, we punish everyone for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're punishing the party as well.
Yeah, of course you're punishing the party.
Because that person who picked Moon Druid at the beginning of the campaign is now what? Useless.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just useless.
What? And now in combat, you know, like, to be fair, you know, druids do have like some decent combat spells.
They got good spells, you know. You could just
well,
like get yourself some decent armor, shields, and shillelagh your way through it and stuff like that. But it's just like,
what's, you know,
I picked a Moon Druid
because I want to be a bear.
Because I want to be a bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Silly, stinky.
All right, this next one is, if your character dies, you can bring in a new character, but they have to be one level lower than the lowest party member. The DM was a big experience tracker kind of DM, and I found out that he balanced his campaign around making sure a character died every other session. I brought in a cleric that could heal, buff, or debuff, and it wrecked his entire balancing because I stopped the PC death, and he had never seen someone play an actual healer before. You're balancing your game
around somebody dying,
hoping someone dies
other session.
Every other session.
Man, like for me, we might get a character death in a campaign.
Yeah.
One character might die in a campaign.
Yep.
You know, it might be something, you know, it was either a really tough fight,
yep.
something went really wrong,
yep.
like maybe they didn't realize they should have ran when they should have and
yep.
stuff like that, and then for that reason, somebody, you know, bites the dust.
Yeah.
You know, people do die, but, you know, we've usually got Revivify on hand and stuff like that, and I plan for that.
Yes.
Planning for somebody to die every other session, and then for them to be a level lower
than the lowest level in the party,
which start at level 1,
which suggests to me that first of all, the XP isn't being evenly distributed.
No,
this is something where this is a party full of people at different levels. For there to be a lowest level member of the party, and then your character has to come in a level below that. And if you're expecting someone to die every other session and you're starting at level 1,
and
does that mean you could potentially constantly have like a level 1 kicking around your party?
So the thing is, it's just, I was thinking about this. So there's 4 people, 1 person dies.
Yeah.
Everyone levels up to level 2, they're still level 1.
Yeah.
The next session, that person levels up to level 2, and then they're in sort of cahoots, and then when they go to level 3, 1 person's down.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if the same person was to die over and over again, that would be like a
death spiral.
That would be dreadful. Yeah. But like, to have your game actually run as normal because somebody plays a healer
wild. And again, the thing is, we can't expect everyone to be incredible at every aspect of the game.
No.
Especially combat and balancing mechanics. That's hard.
But to intentionally balance for death.
Intentionally to balance for death.
Surely
that makes it even harder.
Oh, man.
Surely having someone come in, let's say there's a level 9 party, and then someone has to come in at, I don't know, being dramatic, like a level 5 or 6, right? Like, that is such a huge disparity.
Yeah.
A scary disparity.
I don't think, like, it more than anything, I think me level 5, you are level 6, just feels bad because you know you're the one that's behind.
Yeah.
In practice, I think, unless it's a level where, they get 3 attacks and I've still got 2.
Yes, totally.
Or they get 2 attacks and I've still got 1.
Yeah, or maybe
like,
spells are involved.
Like,
you've
got 3rd level spells and I still only have 2nd level spells. It's just like, unless it's one of those, like, milestone levels, you probably won't feel it.
And feats as well and ASIs.
Being 1 level behind isn't catastrophic.
No,
Campaign 1 of Critical Role, I'm pretty sure Scanlan and somebody else, I can't remember who it was, were always like a level or 2 behind or something like that.
Yeah.
And it never shone. Like nothing ever like was bad about it. They just came into the game late, I think. And Matt sort of wanted to do it that way, which is fine. Like, people who want people to be at different levels, there's nothing actually wrong with that. Like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't ever want to play at a table like that.
I'm pretty sure now Sam's new character is a level higher than everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. I don't agree with tables having different levels.
Yeah.
Just purely out of the feels bad thing. Genuine, that's it. But again, that's completely my personal opinion. And I certainly don't agree with experience being granted to someone who lands the final blow. I don't. By the way, I don't know if that's what this is, but that was also something that came up quite often. People who play experience-based leveling up games, where only people with a killing blow or people who deal damage get the experience, so the healers and the supports get nothing.
You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's just like, then you fall into the trap of then nobody plays the healer.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I've got to build for just damage and nothing else because I need to get the kill.
Yeah, then it becomes really competitive, I think.
Then
in my opinion.
It becomes competitive.
Yeah.
Like, and some people might enjoy that and stuff like that. I don't think I would enjoy playing at that table because we're not playing as a team.
Yeah.
We're playing as individuals, like, trying to be the best.
Yeah.
Which, is what it is.
Yeah. But I think balancing a combat around making sure a character dies is wild to me.
The thing is, it's like, if that's the game you want to play, fine. But then having that be punished with when you bring your new character back as they're a level lower, it's just like, I feel like you would fall into a vicious cycle of, I'm the lowest level. I died another time. I'm the lowest level.
God, I died again because I'm the lowest level.
Like,
look at that, I died again.
One person's like level 2 and the rest of the party's like level 8.
Yeah.
Because they keep dying because they're the lowest level.
They're the lowest level.
I can just see a vicious cycle like that happening.
So can I. I can see games though where people, they just want to go through a meat grinder and it's combat upon combat and it's experience based and your characters can die and then you get a new one out and that is these are all valid ways to play. Even this, but God, I would not.
I wouldn't enjoy it personally.
I would not like to play at a table like that. No. All right, the next one from the same DM. If you use too much magic in the same spot constantly, it causes it to become a wild magic zone. The party had a few mid to high level spellcasters, and the plot was that we were defending a town or settlement. Basically, everywhere became a wild magic zone because we were abusing magic.
Again, it's basically the exact same as the very first one we talked about.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
I know.
I love the idea.
I agree.
It's now become, maybe it's low magic zone or low magic setting. And
Even then.
Like, just the world reacts, or like the ley lines underneath the world.
Yeah, totally.
Like, react to like
inherently
hotspots.
Magical. I completely
love
agree.
It. And then,
I think that's so cool.
If combat goes more than 4 rounds or something like that, a spell is cast every round. It becomes a hotspot while magic stuff starts happening. Really cool.
But
then it's just like, then we start to come in with words like abusing.
We were abusing magic.
We were abusing magic.
And then I don't know. The OP actually doesn't specify exactly what happened with these wild magic zones. But the fact that this was on a topic about what are some of the worst homebrew rules you've played with, and this is an example.
This is the thing. It comes down to what the wild magic surges were.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like things like your hair turns blue.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like butterflies start to appear.
Or like, you know, a fae appears and then you have to do this little side quest for a fae. I think that's
love
fun.
It.
I think
super,
that's fun.
Super fun. Super awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely
you unlock
love it.
like a secret portal to somewhere because the magic in the area, or you change the terrain.
But I feel like
I feel
you cast fireball on yourself and everybody around you has to make a dexterity saving throw and stuff like that.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
You get sucked into the fae and now you have to roll a new character.
Yeah.
You die.
Yeah.
Things like that.
That's the vibe I'm picking up on
Yeah.
as well. Purely because of the way that this has been posted and where it's been posted.
And this is the thing, like, again, Critical Role, End Campaign 2, there was something like this. They were in a place where magic was just weird.
Yeah.
And if you cast a spell like higher than 4th level or something like that, or 3rd level or higher, you have to roll a d20. And if you get the right number on the d20, like weird magical effects happen. And it's just like I think they were quite big magical effects, but the whole thing was 4th level spell or higher, and you have to roll the d20, and then something happens.
There's a lot of steps.
There's a lot of steps for it to happen.
Yeah.
If you want to make it a bad thing happens, it has to be hard to get there.
So it ends in fail safes, yeah.
It can't be like, oh, you cast a spell.
Oh, fireball, everyone's
you're dead. Yeah, it's just like, you can't do that. But you can. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that could be so cool.
So much fun.
If it's implemented with fun in mind. But based on what it sounds like, this was not implemented with fun in mind. This was implemented because the DM was like, you're using too much magic.
Yeah.
So now there has to be consequences to you using magic.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm getting.
Agreed.
All right, this next one is my DM didn't really understand wizards. You would cast a spell and then you would be too exhausted to cast another spell until you long rested. Your level did not matter. Then what's the point?
Then what's the point?
Then what's the point in
It's
in spell slots?
Yeah, it was just like, oh, but I've got all these spell slots. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, you're too tired.
Yeah, I don't. You're just so tired.
You're eepy.
And the thing is, it's just like, the whole point is the fantasy of the wizard is know all the spells.
Yeah, you've studied and you've trained.
The connoisseur of magic.
Yeah, magic is at your whim.
You seek out knowledge.
Yeah.
You find books and learn new spells.
Yeah.
Hey, but you can only cast one a day, otherwise you get really tired.
Yeah.
And then you've got a long rest.
Yeah.
And the
one
thing is,
spell, but that's worse. That's worse than a warlock.
The thing,
because at least warlocks them back on a short rest.
Yeah, and they've got Eldritch Blast.
And,
and they can, be a gish and things like that.
And they've got Mystic Arcanum and stuff.
Yeah.
But like.
And this is the thing. It's like, with the warlock, hey, at least they've got a D8 hit dice.
True.
Hey, at least they can wear medium armor.
True.
Hey, at least they could go Pact to the Blade.
True.
Hey, at least you could get like a familiar or something like that.
Yeah.
With wizard, you got nothing.
You got nothing.
You got a D6 hit dice.
No armor proficiency.
You got no armor. You cast mage armor to get your armor. Too tired. Can't do anything else.
Well, that's it. It's like you cast Find Familiar. Too tired.
You got no weapon proficiencies.
Yeah.
Like you are.
You cast Misty Step.
The whole point is you're shit at everything else
apart from casting spells.
Apart from casting spells.
Yep.
Hey,
Agreed.
You can cast one spell now.
Yeah.
How about that?
And again, it's to be fair. OP says the DM didn't understand wizards. This sounds like maybe this was like a lack of understanding,
a fundamental misunderstanding,
as opposed to like like I was gonna say mischievous. That's not the word.
Yeah, like a punishment.
Maniacal. No,
Yeah.
What's the word? Menacing. What's the word? Malicious. The word was malicious, as opposed to a malicious thing.
Yeah. It's just like, it wasn't a malicious thing. Like, I just hate wizards. We had a wizard in the last campaign, and now I hate wizards because that wizard was too good.
So now you have to be too exhausted.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, that this is once again taking a core function of a class and just completely ruining it to the point of, why would anyone ever play a wizard?
It's not even that you took the car function. You took the only function.
The only thing.
You took the function.
Yeah, you took the
The wizard rocks up to the function with one spell.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Oh, yeah. All right, this is the penultimate.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
the second to last.
The penulti?
Clerics go last. Since they were apparently historically support-only characters in 2nd edition, I need to go last to heal or buff as needed. I made all of the encounters less enjoyable after that.
The thing is, some clerics would love it.
I agree.
And this is the thing. But this is the problem with clerics. Everyone just thinks they're healers.
Everyone's like, historically support-only? Since when?
Because not in 5th edition.
Since when?
Hey.
I sincerely doubt in 2nd edition that clerics were support only.
I could probably, I don't know, but I could probably see it.
I don't believe it.
Because I think it was definitely more about, I don't know.
I mean, I don't either.
I don't know.
I don't either.
At all. But I think that there were classes that were like, that's the healer class.
Kind of like in WoW, where it's like, oh, you're the tank, you're DPS, you're the healer. Yeah, but like, okay, 2E. Fucking how long ago was 2E?
It doesn't. Fucking 5E's been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
Hey, we're literally moving into a new edition. Whoa. We've got 1D&D coming out as we speak because 5E's been out for so long.
But you know what? Actually, my point of how long ago was it? That doesn't matter because you can use any rule set you want.
You can use any rule set you want.
But forcing someone to go last in initiative because of your preconceived notions of how they were stinks.
It's like, oh, hey, I'm a war domain cleric. Oh, hey, I'm a trickster cleric. Oh, hey, I'm like any cleric that isn't a healer because there's lots of them and that's the whole point in 5e. I'm a Tempest cleric.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do things. I want to do loads of damage.
Yeah.
I want to do loads of damage. I want to have like spells that can buff people. I want to wear heavy armor. I'm on the front line. I've got a shield and a mace, and like I chip away at people, and I keep my allies safe and stuff like that. Super cool. It's just like I'm not built for support. Hey, you're going last.
Yeah.
Why? Like I've told you, I'm not support.
Yeah, I have no intention
of healing people.
Of doing healing. I have no intention of it.
With clerics who have no intention of healing.
No intention of healing, and they shouldn't have to.
No,
they shouldn't have to.
The whole thing is, it's an option, and if they want to choose that option, amazing. That's great because they're probably going to help out the party, and it's. And the thing is, the whole point is, if you are a support cleric, if you are a healer cleric, if you're a Twilight domain, if you're a peace cleric, if you're a life domain cleric, things like that, going last isn't a bad thing.
No, I agree. And there are people who would like this.
Yeah, because, you know, if you're a healer, people have got to be hurt to heal.
Yeah.
The enemy goes before you in
you go last,
combat.
you can pick up what happened.
For a lot of people, they prefer that as a cleric if they're a healer. But if you're not a healer, it's pointless.
And man, just making a blanket statement for everyone, it stinks. Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't make blanket statements for everyone based off a tiny little niche thing.
Yeah.
That's just not fair. Like you can't make decisions for people, especially like, man, OP says like, this made all of the encounters less enjoyable for me.
Of course it did.
Yeah, no shit did it.
Of course it did, because let's just say you were a DPS cleric and you did like to get like big AoE spells out and things like that and get Spirit Guardians up and run in there. Yeah. It's just like, oh, well, the battlefield's like super spread now because of all these different things that have happened, and now my Spirit Guardians has literally no value.
And now I have to move. If I'm a melee cleric, I'm going to have to move. And you know what? It's also like, even if they are a healing or support cleric, right? That doesn't mean they have to go last. Like, sure, you could want to, and you could be like, yeah, I'd like that, but that doesn't mean you have to. And I think also it becomes this expectation where the party does, you know, whatever in combat, and then they go, it's all right, cleric's last, they'll heal me.
Just like, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
like,
but you're making me do that.
And I think I could see situations where it's like, okay, Harry, cleric's gonna heal. All right, on to the next. And then cleric doesn't get to have that moment in battle, you know? Yeah, I think, hey, don't take people's options away from them.
Yeah, and like the new alert feat in the book, like, being able to allows you to switch.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, the cleric rolled super high. Oh, the rogue rolled really low.
That's giving agency back.
And then the cleric is the healer. They're like, can we switch?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
totally.
That's sick. If somebody wants that.
I completely agree.
But if you don't want that, why are you making them do it?
Yeah, I completely
agree. If it's a player choice, I love it. If the player was like, hey, can I go last in every initiative?
Yeah.
Fine.
Absolutely.
Because that's on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's all about player agency. It is.
Annoying.
Yeah. Well, this is the last one. This is it.
Oh my God.
I joined an online game with some guys.
Oh,
goodness. Burpee. Oh. With some guys I vaguely knew, and I was told if I made an arcane caster, my spells would be chosen for me at random, and I would not be able to pick any of my spells, cantrips included. I ended up rolling a rogue.
Why? Like, I don't know if there's like some world law as to thing here. And the thing is, like, if somebody comes to you and they're like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, I could see with the Warlock.
Yeah, I could as well.
Patron
we've had
given,
this conversation before.
Yeah, patron given spells,
Yeah.
and then the Warlock goes to the Dungeon Master and they're like, you know, you're role-playing my patron. Can you just give me a bunch of spells every day and stuff like that? And then the Warlock, the DM's like, cool, gal, you know.
That is so much trust.
Yeah.
That is, I would trust you to do that for me, but I feel like that is a lot of trust. You have to trust your DM to do that.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples of this. The player has to want to do that.
And this is the thing. It's just like when I hear arcane spellcaster, I immediately go to wizard.
Yeah, so do I.
And the whole thing is the wizard knows they've got the whole, it's iconic. It's a spell book.
Yeah.
It's spells that I have learned.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if, I don't know, if it was their choice and they just like tapped the book every day or something like that.
Yeah.
And they just got given a bunch of spells.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they have a dream of casting every spell ever like created or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool, if that's the crack.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe we do get stuck in ruts of we do pick ride or dies, and then this spell has actually got like a negative like view in the community's opinion, so nobody picks it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you can actually be surprised by some spells that you've never picked before.
I agree.
I love it, but the whole thing is that's the player's choice.
Yeah, that's what it ultimately comes down to. Being told, "Hey, you play a wizard. I'm picking your spells for you." By the way, like,
no.
And again, a game with some guys I vaguely knew. There's no trust there.
There's no trust there.
No trust, and you know, even if this was actually done intentionally for great reasons, for the player's benefit, there isn't like the trust there.
Where's the reason
to do that? What is like, the reason?
Okay, that's fine. Why?
And I think
because I don't like wizards. Not good enough.
The reason should come from the player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can absolutely see. You know, me, I would hate this. I would absolutely hate having my spells picked for me at random if I wasn't allowed to have my ride or dies.
Yeah.
And my cantrips, like I would hate this, but I can totally see. Honestly, I can see someone like Matthew maybe enjoying this.
Yeah, because he likes to maybe, you know, he likes looking at different spells.
And he likes kind of looking at situations like, how can I make this work?
How can I make this spell that I've been given by random work
Exactly.
And like, that's the thing. It's like, I could see people enjoying it, but it's like, yeah, okay, there's a law reason as to why. Okay, why?
Yeah.
Because all you've told me is, I want to play an arcane spellcaster. Okay, all these spells are at random. It's just like, but why though?
Yeah, I agree. I think
why though?
I think things like this should definitely come from the player, and if not from the player, there has to be a level of trust, and there has to be an explanation why.
Yeah.
And you
and
know,
if do you want to know what? If the law's juicy and there's a reason, and I still want to play it, fair. But like, if I don't want to play it because of that, it's like that's also fine.
Just be like, I just played a rogue instead. Like, say, I would too.
Hey, nothing wrong with rogues. Though.
No, oh no.
Despite the community opinion.
yeah. Well, that was it.
Do you want to know what? Love that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know what? Because we hadn't done it in a while, I think there
was some juices.
There was some juices.
I love that. That was great.
There was some good uns as well. There was some good uns. There was some interesting things. I really think that anti-magic thing could have been so much fun. The popcorn initiative was great.
Popcorn initiative. Or the anti-magic, like the zone, the hotspot zone.
I think that could have been
stuff.
so
love
cool. And you know, there's maybe something with like those homemade cards instead of like a D20. Like I could imagine a whole system based on something cool like that.
But it's just like, and the thing is, if you've got a desire to do something like that, it's just like, of course it's not going to work when it's half baked as fuck.
Of course not.
And it's just like, but that's why we play test these things.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, that's how new systems are born because of like desires to do different things. And it's just like, don't give up on it. If it's something you care about,
totally, I agree.
Don't give up on it.
I completely agree. I absolutely. So hey, someone patent that. Go on.
Yeah.
Take it.
And like, just because it didn't work the first time, it's just like, of course it's not going to.
Absolutely.
Just like,
and there's going to be things you don't think of that then suddenly they're going to interact and you're going to be like,
It's like, and this is why fucking games like this have been play tested.
Yeah.
Games like Daggerheart have been play tested.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get play tested because it's just like, you could sit down and try and think of every interaction, but until you get into the game and have other people playing it with the way that their brains think and they find interactions, it's just like, that's why you need to play test it. And don't get disheartened if you try and do something and it doesn't work first time.
Absolutely.
Not everything works first time.
No. Very rarely do things work first time round.
Almost never.
Especially in something like a TTRPG when there is so many moving parts, so many different brains. What's my foot touching? What was my foot touching there?
Just the socket board?
That scared me. Hey, I was spooked. Hey, I didn't know what my foot was on there. Oh my goodness. Well, that's it.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell. You know, all of that goes a million miles to help the video, help the channel. Support the Patreon if you want to support me and Margaret. There's other ways to do so as well with things like merch. Patrons do get 10% off, which you can pick up at www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Our Etsy shop's down below. Code Podblast will get you 10% off anything in our store. Join us on Twitch every Friday, every Sunday, and
in the
every
month
other
of September,
Tuesday.
we are going to be doing something very fun for September,
and we are going to be doing a subathon at the end of the month.
We hopefully will have more information for you on Thursday about that.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Even in his ring.
We have been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Thursday. Bye!
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs.
Ariel.
Tula.
Runarian.
Arkham Labs Cosplay.
Maddie.
Pepsi Woman.
Luna.
Teddysaurus.
Caspian.
Ryan the Giant 111.
J-Spot.
Ultrafail.
Dallin M.
Sleepy.
Joe Dragonlord 2.
Alistar.
Lawkeeper Society.
Ricky B.
Danny Phantom.
Catherine.
Faustskin.
Azuriel.
Panda Queen Plays.
Xylo Boy.
Lucas Iapetis.
Luna River.
Ruined Rivers. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.